buy yesterday and get paid today on a little bit higher amount. That was awesome.
All right. It's great. Okay, everybody needs Bitcoin, and this is the way to get Bitcoin. As we just showed you, Bitcoin's around $1,000 a piece right now, and everybody needs Bitcoin. Most people don't realize they need it, but they will sooner or later. And instead of having to go out and spend $1,000 each for one, you want to get as many as you can, you might as well join the little trading program that we have going here, because this is by far the easiest and fastest way to get your hands on Bitcoin. And that's exactly what we're going to explain. Now, Bitcoin came around in 2008. It was a paper written by Satoshi Nakamoto. A bunch of the developers, guys out there that sit there at their computers all day with programs, decided to put it into play, and they did. And in 2009, the first transaction took place. A couple of pizzas were bought for 10,000 Bitcoins, which would be amazing today. That'd be some pizza. Anyway, it's launched. 2010, it was only worth 10 cents a coin. 2016, averaging 900, and now it's, very close to what the gold price is now. It's going to be above gold. It's probably going to stay above gold for some time. Gold just hasn't figured that out yet, and it's going to be very valuable because there's only 21 million coins. And as far as gold goes, we don't even know how much gold there is. Say again? Anyway, these companies have been investing in Bitcoin for some time, and I wasn't even aware of that. When I first saw Bitcoin, I pushed it away because I didn't think the idea of cryptocurrencies or something that was artificial would be worth having. And I was kind of stuck in the system. I thought my good old US dollar was solid as a rock, and it took me a while to figure it out, but I finally realized that it just wasn't the case. And what I really noticed is that all the planning and all of the pensions and the savings and everything just constantly it doesn't buy anything. We save 20 years of money. We should have a lot of cash in the account, and we do, but it doesn't buy anything, and you've got to have something that's going to hold its value, that's going to be there when you need it down the road, right? And I think these companies were investing in Bitcoin because they wanted to get inside and they wanted to find out what was going on, because I think they finally realized, even before many of us, that the Bitcoin is a real threat to them. We don't really need them anymore to move money and transact money. We don't need permission. Bitcoin is something that allows us to transact business anywhere in the world. Andreas Antonopoulos says that we have a Swiss bank in our back pocket, an actual bank. We can do everything a bank can do, and all we need is a cell phone, and we don't need anybody's permission. We can receive money, we can send money, and isn't that what banks do, besides take your money? It's kind of common knowledge now, banks seem to steal more money than anything else. Anyway, in order to deal with Bitcoin, you've got to have an e-wallet. What's an e-wallet? Well, you guys are familiar with bank accounts today, and you have a debit card, and you probably go online to look at your bank account, checking account, things like that. That's really an e-wallet. That's what you're looking at, as a computer website that has the information on it. Well, it's the same for Bitcoin. The largest e-wallet is blockchain. Second is Coinbase. And the others there, Zappo, Copay, and BitPay, are just a couple others that have been mentioned here. But BitPay is kind of special because it actually offers a Visa debit card, so that you can just transfer your Bitcoins on the Visa debit card and you can spend it just like you do at a regular debit card. Nobody knows the difference. They don't know that's coming from Bitcoin. Local Bitcoins is probably a good place to be finding where you can get Bitcoins. It tends to be a kind of a peer-to-peer operation. Some of them are registered, some of them are not. And you can get as much as you want on some of these sites, and others they limit it. It's quite a bit. It's kind of difficult to get it sometimes when you're getting started. And I think that's tied into all this so-called anti-money laundering stuff, and they just want to make sure they know who's dealing in Bitcoin. The hardware safe this over there kind of talks about hardware wallets. You got your e-wallet there, but maybe you don't want to leave your coins in a wallet. Maybe you want to transfer them offline, someplace safe where you can keep them, hang on to them. Remember, once you get a Bitcoin, it's yours. You own it. You get rights, title, and interest. And that Bitcoin is going to be worth more in the future than it is today. Why? Because the whole world is rushing to Bitcoin. Have you not been paying attention to what's going on? You've got to subscribe to Crypto Coins News. It's coins plural. Crypto Coins News. Subscribe there. Start paying attention to the headlines that they're putting out. You're going to be amazed. There's all kinds of turmoil everywhere. The one that I know that's the best is Venezuela. Venezuela has no economy whatsoever, and they've been doing everything in Bitcoin. transacting, carrying on their own economy. See, that's the point. Once you have Bitcoin, you don't need the other stuff. There are people that live solely on Bitcoin. They don't use dollars or pesos or anything like that anymore. They just use Bitcoin because Bitcoin works. And right now, there's 100,000 companies in the United States that you can find to do business with Bitcoin. There are some websites that you can search. What do you want to buy? You need a computer, you want a car, you need tires, whatever you need, you can find it and pay for with Bitcoin. You don't have to use dollars anymore. And here's some of the companies that do that. Starbucks, Subway, biggies. They're not just slouches. They're not just little guys sitting on a corner someplace with a little table and a computer or a phone, frankly. Look at the guy paying for his coffee there. He's using a cell phone to do that. That's why I'm saying we don't really need those guys. We don't need the banks anymore. We don't need them to get in the way of us transacting money. Now, how do we get the coin? Well, here's the deal. What it is Bitcoin trading. Now, everybody knows what Forex trading is. It's where you're trading the currencies. Well, currencies don't move very much. The variation in price and everything is very small. And so in order to make a lot of money doing that, and people have made fortunes doing Forex trading, don't get me wrong, you've got to have high-speed trading. And what does that is computers. It's called robo trading. Now, the advantage we have over here with the Bitcoin side is high volatility, very large swings in prices of the coins. Boy, you can get rich on a coin coming down just as you can get rich on a coin going up. But when you have a computer running thousands of contracts simultaneously, and they're always taking profits. Every time they see a profit opportunity, they go ahead and execute that contract and take that profit. And that's what we're doing here. We're doing high-speed robo trading. So you got to fasten your seatbelts and get ready to rock and roll here, man, because the stuff moves quick. People are having a lot of fun, and everybody makes money here, whether they refer people or not. If you really want to make money quickly, you really go and refer people. Now, remember, we're dealing in Bitcoin here. We're not dealing in US dollars. The way this thing works is just like those games. Everybody was crazy for these games. I used to hear them all the time. Farmville, Yoville, all that kind of stuff like that. I don't know. I didn't play them. Had nothing to do with them. But I do that. Some people spent a lot of money. One guy spent $60 million. He was pretty wealthy. But he was buying all of these artificial things in a computer on a game. He bought their money. Well, Bitcoin is our money. No government owns it. We own it. The people own it. The people that use it own it. And so the thing that made it possible to do the trading was the rise of the cryptocurrency exchanges. See, they're the ones that do all the processing. They're the ones that manage this whole thing of the ebb and flow of when you send Bitcoin to one place to another place, it goes through the exchanges. Now, there are regulated exchanges and there are non-regulated exchanges. The regulated exchanges are the ones that are buying the idea that the government needs to regulate this thing. See, I don't buy into that idea at all. I'm on, this is private, should be private. When people transact money, if somebody's standing there with 50 bucks and I have something for sale and he wants to give me 50 bucks, I don't really need to know who he is. I don't have to, the money is the money, right? It is evidence itself of a value. Well, that's the great thing about the Bitcoin. The market is determining the value of the Bitcoin. And as things get worse and worse, more and more people are going to move their money in there, just like they did in China when they were devaluating the currency very strongly. What about India when they took out 85% of the value of the currency? Everybody that had money in Bitcoin didn't lose a dime. And the other thing I like to hear is when countries like Nigeria say, it's outlawed, and then they come back a few weeks later and say, Nigeria says it can't control Bitcoin. Yay! That's what I want to hear. Austria comes out and says, people, beware. You shouldn't put your money in these kinds of things because they're not regulated. Yay! Keep it coming. I tried to do a $29 purchase in Norway here last week. It was blocked. Chase Bank blocked it. Why? I called them up finally. You don't do business in Norway. Oh, really? I just did, and you blocked it. Unblock the dang thing. What's infuriating? That's what we're doing. What are the benefits here of working with Gladiacoin? Well, it says duplicate your Bitcoins in 90 days. Now, there's more to it than that. You can actually do it much faster than 90 days. But if you put the money in, they're going to pay you 2.2% directly to your personal account. They're daily payments. They don't hold on to any of the money. The money you give them to trade with is all they have that they hang on to. Everything else that comes out of there is directly sent to your back chain, your blockchain wallet. And you're in total control of all that money. And it's fully automated. There's nothing to do. I mean, you don't have to go in there and collect it and say, send me the money and ask permission for that. It just automatically sent to you. That's fantastic. See, I love that kind of stuff. There's no real tedious activity that you have to do. You have to pay attention when you're going to cycle. I'll show you that in a little while because we just had to cycle our Spartacus 7 again this week. Boy, that's hard to say, isn't it? Let's do it again. Do it again. It's just smooth. It's one guy, a programmer guy that I know, said that this is a programming excellence. He's just amazed at how simple and how clean this thing operates, and it just works. But it's an international presence. Now, keep in mind that Forex is dealing with currencies of different, so I guess you'd call them sovereign governments or agencies that issue money, and the rest of the world recognizes it. They're different locations. Listen, here we're dealing just with Bitcoin in every country. It doesn't matter. The thing that happens was like what happened in China. You can do an arbitrage. For example, we could buy a Bitcoin here in the United States, turn around and sell it for $300 more in China. That's a $300 profit, just like that. Boom. Well, that's why it's so cool. We can make money. That's what volatility does. And that's what marketing does. And that's why the exchanges at different locations have different prices for Bitcoin. Some of them have it lower, some of them have it higher. And the computer sees it all and begins to manage that stuff in real time. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it never quits. It's constantly managing the contracts and following the market on the different exchanges. Okay? So you run the whole thing for yourself on a tablet, mobile phone, or a PC. And it's really cool to work on a mobile phone because what's going on here is that there's 2.5 billion people in the world that don't even have any banking relationship. They have no way to conduct commerce. And because of that, a lot of them are poor. But that's all changing with Bitcoin because all they need is a cell phone, they need a power source, they need a connection to the internet. They don't even have a computer down there, but you don't need it. All you need is the phone. And when that happens, what do you think the price of Bitcoin is going to be at that point? Remember, there's only 21 million Bitcoins. Gold? Could be a lot more gold out there. But the thing is that Bitcoin is a lot easier to use. What if you got to move across the border? What if you have to leave a place and hurricanes like Katrina, New Orleans, under 17 feet of water. That guy had one of my associates down there had an office just down there. He couldn't get anything that was down there. Couldn't get his gold. Anyway, those are the basic ideas and benefits. We've already talked about this doubling in 90 days. Let me say one more thing about that. It's a 90-day contract, and it's analogous to a CD, a certificate of deposit at a bank. It's a time deposit. Same thing with insurance companies. They issue guaranteed annuity contracts, interest contracts. And they give them a period of time. You put in a certain amount of money, and they give you back the proceeds at the end of the contract in a time period. This has a little accelerator clause in it. That's why you're going to be really interested in the binary network, because you can double your Bitcoins every single day. How do you do that? You use the binary. Well, what does that mean? Well, every day they pay you the interest return of 2.2%. And when they do that, you put in 4 Bitcoin, you receive 2.2%. By the end of that 90 days, you've got 8 Bitcoin. That's the way it works. They double the Bitcoin. You can do that 4 times a year and end up with 64 Bitcoin. But if you use the binary system, then that means you're referring people. If you're referring people, you're building a pool of Bitcoin down below you. And every time that generates a referral to the company, you get 15% of that. Now that needs a little explanation. It's not just straight across the board, but it works, and it works really well. And there are people right now that are doing that and just cycling every single day. They put in 4 Bitcoin, they take out 8 Bitcoin the following day. You can do that too. We're going to talk about it. All right, so here's the 2 ways. We got passive. Put your money in, get 2.2% today. Best thing on the market out there. I mean, it's just like if you want money to sit in a bank someplace, you might as well put it over here because you can get a lot more money. Now, when we say money, we're talking about Bitcoin. I want you to understand that. But this cryptocurrency can be turned into other money forms because it's exchangeable. Why? Because there are people that want it and they're willing to pay for it. That's why. That's all it needs to have it happen. But here's what the binary side. See, if you're willing to refer two people, one on each side, one on each leg, that's why it's a binary, it's two, you get 5% to 15% a referral fee. And this is what it looks like here. So here's you, all right, and you're going to build a team of people down this way and down this way. Now you have to refer two personal referrals in order to become eligible to receive the funding from the binary. Well, why not make those two people you? No reason you can't. You can have as many positions as you want, but you want to work the top position first. And you get this one pumping out 8 Bitcoins a day, 8 Bitcoins a day, 8 Bitcoins a day, you know, every day, every day, every day. You can sell that if you want to. You can turn that in. The people out there are dying to get their hands on Bitcoin, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. People want, I want my Bitcoin. Anyway, because you're building a referral team down the right and you're refilling a referral team down the left, you've already done half the work for these two positions here. So once you've maxed out what you can get, then start referring people over here, because already half of it's done. So if you just work on the inside leg, you're going to be pulling money off of this outer leg because you've already built it. It's got all those units in there, and this position gets to accumulate those units. There's no compression. They don't go away, and it goes to infinity. Oh my gosh, what could that mean? It could mean a heck of a lot of Bitcoin, and that's exactly what you want, because Bitcoin is going to be very, very scarce in the future. Now, same thing happens on over here on the left. You've already built that outside leg there, so all you got to do is start building on the inside, and every piece of Bitcoin that you bring on here from these people is going to pull cash right off that other line for you. So now you got 3 positions kicking out 8 Bitcoin a day, right? Now, in the lower levels, and we're going to get into the percentages into the plans, okay? We'll talk about that in a few minutes here. I want to talk about one other thing that's very important here. Of the people that started with Bitcoin, it doesn't matter how much you start with, but the max is 4 Bitcoin, all right? Again, I got to fix that number because it doesn't really flow here. If you had 50 people that started the program, 50 people are going to double their BTC. Listen, we're already seeing that by the hundreds, by the way. This is not open to question anymore. It's happening every day all around the world. And they also continued their contract, because just like us today, we have to make a decision. We received our 8 Bitcoin. It's sitting there. They want to know if we want to renew it. And of course we do. Well, why? Well, you see, they pay every day. So what happens is that, let's say that you want to take a little vacay and you decide you're going to take a trip around the world, okay? Or at least you're going to go island hopping, and you don't want to pay attention to your money. A computer. Computer generates money. So you want to just take a break. You're going to just step out for a mile. You can't do that. You've got to take your computer with you. And when it comes time, if you cycle in the meantime and you're over there on the road someplace, you want to be someplace close so that you can renew your contract. Why? Because they pay you every day. If you're not here, if you're taking a break, you lose this binary because it flows up to higher. Well, why would you want to do that when it's pumping up Bitcoin into you and you're able to use that to accelerate your position? That's how they go from 90 days to every day, maybe even 20 days, 10 days. It's getting shorter for us every week. Every week it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter. We're really shooting for that 8 Bitcoin a day so we can establish other positions. But see, the problem is that if you get out of here, if you step out and you're not here to be paid, and you don't have anything in the till, they can't put you back in. Once you're out of this position because you're not participating, you can't be put back in. That's why everybody renews. So the answer to this problem here is go ahead and do what you want to do and talk to somebody that you know, that you trust, and have them renew your account for you. Just show them how to do it. It's that simple to solve. It's not a big deal. Now we're getting into the plans, and now we're going to talk more about these percentages. You see, this plan here is very special. It's the number 1 plan. It's the first plan. It's the lowest one. It's 5% of a Bitcoin in order to get in. But this one doesn't double. All the others double. This one doesn't. This plan is here so that you can actually begin building a team and referring people in and give a percentage of the binary. Why? So you can get to this plan, 10% of a Bitcoin. This is where they start doubling. Doubles in 90 days, just like everything else. You can double from a 0.1, 10% of a Bitcoin, to 20% of a Bitcoin, right? That's a double. You can earn up to 6 Bitcoin monthly doing that. Here's the other plans, same thing, just a little higher. Here's the sweet spot on the low-end plans. Half a Bitcoin. Doubles in 90 days, but you get 9% of that binary. That's a big deal. You know, like you get 100,000 equivalent dollars in Bitcoin down below you, and you take 15% of that, I mean 9% of that, that can add up to a lot to help you cycle for your Bitcoin every day. You could get 30 Bitcoin a month. Now I was talking about the other plans where we do 8 Bitcoin a day. This is only 1. You can only do 1 Bitcoin here because it's a half, it's a double, right? Got it? Now, that's why if you really want to generate stuff, you've got to get up into these realms here, into these sweetheart plans, because this is where the action really begins to happen. Spartacus 7 is 4 Bitcoins, okay? You know, you can start anywhere you want. We started at the very bottom and worked it all the way up. It took us 19 days in order to get to a Spartacus 7 account. And we put everything we had into it to make it and get it there. Now we're cycling every few days, and we're not waiting for a double in 90 days. Why wait? We get 15% of that binary. So we refer people. Well, what do you mean by referring people? We just show them what's going on. This isn't this. You know, there's no magic to it. Show them what's happening in your account, that you're able to get payments coming in every day. They're not getting that anywhere else. There aren't any investment contracts and stuff that do this. This is amazing. And anyway, think about it. 8 Bitcoin a day, 250 Bitcoin a month. What did I say a Bitcoin was on? It was a little over $1,000 right now. That's $240,000 a month. You think it'd be worth it to tell somebody about this? You think it might change a lot of people's lives? If you got 3 positions kicking out 8 Bitcoin a day, 720 Bitcoin a month, that's $750,000. What do you got to do that? Think about it for a minute. What do you really have to do that? The thing that you have to do is you have to join this program, because these guys know what they're doing on that end. Okay, they're willing to let us give them some money and participate in some of the earnings that they get. They're making a lot more than that, and I hope they continue to make a lot more than that. People think this is really a lot of money. No, it's not. It's just you guys never see it. You never see the private deals that go on out there. People are doubling and tripling their money all the time, but you don't see those deals. They don't do public deals like that. They don't even talk about them. So start where you can and get to this point, and change your life. Now let's get some Bitcoin, because things are really rough in the world. I don't know if you guys are paying attention or not. Sometimes I think you're just not. You've got to find out what's going on in the financial sector. It is tenuous. At any moment, we could lose everything here. But look, what I'm telling you is we can create our own economy just like they do in Venezuela. As long as we have enough people doing this and working with Bitcoin, we can do our own stuff. I mean, I can go out and do things for people and get paid in Bitcoin, fine by me. I mean, it is fine right now. I mean, if somebody else can fix a car, I mean, they get paid in Bitcoin, right? So my view is that the only way I can protect my financial future is to help you protect yours, which is why I'm telling you about this. That's what this is all about. I'm not trying to structure this as some get-rich-quick scheme, although I see people, some of them are treating it that way, and you know what? They are really working hard at letting people know what this is and explaining it to them. And that's all you really have to do. And I'm going to tell you something. If somebody doesn't want to hear this, 70% of the people that you're going to talk to are not ready to do this. They're not prepared to even hear it. Be any kind of reason. And the other thing I hear is, I can't talk to anybody, John. Well, sure you can. You do it all the time anyway. Something bad happens, don't you tell everybody what that dirty, rotten so-and-so did to you? Sure you do. Probably to the point where somebody says, you're talking about that again. I already heard about that last week. It's enough, shut up. Or something really good happens to you, and other people are telling other people about what a great thing happened to you, and it spreads, kind of like wildfire around your community. So you're already doing the same thing, but this is a really phenomenal deal for everybody. And I want you to have a good life, and I want you to have money in your pocket, and I want you to be able to pay your bills. And when, they crash this thing and the dollar goes south and nobody wants the dollar anymore and you can't work it, you got to understand too, you don't understand what's coming. I keep telling people about this. They just don't seem to believe me. The robots are coming. you're going to lose your job potentially because of a robot taking it over. I wouldn't worry about the immigration side as much as that. Wendy's just brought in another 1,000 robots in order to take orders and do things like that. There are companies that do title insurance companies and stuff. They're getting rid of them because they don't need them. They got computers doing it. The blockchain technology is changing everything. See, in 2009, it wasn't just that somebody bought some pizzas. It was a revolution in the way we do things in the world. That's why I'm trying to explain to you, you absolutely must get your hands on Bitcoin because it's the only thing that you're going to have that you're going to be able to use around the world. What if you had to leave and go into South America someplace? You know, I don't know, maybe there's a big hurricane came through. Or let's say the Yellowstone volcano blows, right? You got to leave. Don't you want to take your money with you? You can't take gold and silver and guns and all that kind of stuff with you. There's no way. You got to get across the border and you need your bank in your pocket. Nobody's going to stop you because you got a card in your pocket, debit card. There's really a lot of reasons to look at this and you have to evaluate it very seriously. Well, now you know you don't have an excuse because you know you can't sit around and say, I never had a shot. I just never could do it. I couldn't find it. I couldn't do it. Now you do. You can't ever say that again, so that's over. You got to get rid of that excuse. Anyway, if you want help talking to people and you just can't do it because we're talking about money, that seems to be the hang up. Get a little book called Double Your Contacts by Michael Durkin, D-U-R-K-I-N, Double Your Contacts. It's $7-8, I think, and you know, I wish I had this little thing 40 years ago. I would have been so much even further ahead than I am now. But when you get an associate like Kathy Bailey, hey man, we got everything going for us. All right, let's get on and let me show you a few things. To get started, the way you do it is you choose the plan that's suitable for you. All right, I think you should come in. This is true, really. After being here, working on it, and repeatedly doubling the 8 Bitcoin, you need to get to 4. If you can get into 4, do it. If you can't, get into 2. If you can't get in that, get into 1. Get up as high as you can on your top position. Do the triangle, right? Do the top position and the 2 below you immediately. Put a 0.1 on each one of those down there in the bottom. Put the rest of the available funding that you can do on the top position and work to get the 8 Bitcoin coming out every day, okay? Then you start working the other ones. It's the way you do it. That's it. That's the book. Somebody says, "Here, you got a way to do this, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4." Yeah, I do. Right here, right now. Listen to me. Open a free blockchain account. Get your e-wallet open. Acquire some Bitcoin. I don't care how much you get. Get what you can get, and get this plan started. That's what you do. And the person who referred you already knows how to do it. They've done it. All you have to do is go back to them and have them help you. Okay? All right. Let me do a couple things here, and we'll open everything up to questions. I just want to show you a couple things here. Okay, there's the Bitcoin calculator. Here is the Gladiacoin. Now here it is, right here, Spartacus 7. Some of you guys are probably on here the last time I showed this when we had to renew this thing. Oh, it's really rough to renew this thing, baby. You just punch the old button right there and you put in your 4 bits back in, right? Now in this one here, you got to take a look at the money, right? In this case, we not only got enough money to cycle, we got 0.795, almost 0.8, 80% of a Bitcoin. That's over $800, $900. Now, that's over. I got more money in there than I need in order to make the double at 8 Bitcoin. They're only going to pay out 8. See that? This is where our target is right here. And this is the amount they're going to pay that we've got. Now, when I renew this money, this Bitcoin money, will be deposited in the new account. So I've already got almost a Bitcoin leg up on it, right? Right? See how that works? And then you get paid on that too. Pretty rough, man. Hard. All right, now, how much is sitting there? Let's find out. We can just go take a look. This is another reason why people are going to do this all the time, because let's just take a look at how much money is sitting there. Paste. $819. You know, it's not chicken feed. It'll pay the bills for a month, right? And sometimes at least cover the electricity cost or anything. Nice little extra piece of money to put in your pocket.
And this is every day, just like clockwork, every day.
And what I want to show you here is here's our wallet, and right now we still have the money coming in. Right now we got 8 Bitcoin in there right now, and we've been using a bunch of it. Kathy's turned out to be a little genius here in how to take positions and do things. You know, maybe you talk to her and pay her a couple Bitcoin, and she'll teach you some of her secrets. Anyway, we work for Bitcoin now. You understand that? Look at here. I want you to see that right there. That is $3,487. How do I enlarge that a little bit? Let's pop it up there so people can see it a little better. There you go. All right, see that? That was 3.4 Bitcoin. This came in today. What's that? That's 181. This is 3,000. This is 90. Scroll down some more. See if I can get it on 1,600 and something.
Like 4,069.
1870. See, we have more than one coming in, different positions, right? 213. Some are just getting started. 2,387. Some small ones. 474, 52, 1686. You know, it just keeps coming. Just keeps coming. And so what I do is I just go back over here and I show you the financial statement. All right, because what I want to prove to you is they actually pay you. All right, here's today's right there. 0.2482 Bitcoin. This one is, how much is that?
Why don't you renew while you're in there?
Oh, no, let's do it later.
Okay, I haven't got that far yet.
Yeah, well, we'll do it afterwards. All right, that's what we got paid today in our account. Great. Now we got another roughly $800 that's going to pop in the account as soon as we renew it. Now, if you don't renew it, you lose that, by the way. They're only going to pay you 8 Bitcoin a day.
So the rest rolls over to the next day.
Yeah.
So you don't ever lose those.
So
unless you don't renew.
Here's 1.5 that we got here the other day. Pop that into here. How much is that? Let's put it right in here. Paste it. 1,637. All right. Do you guys think that this? I mean, how many people are earning $1,500, $2,000 a week? You know, they're not.
A day.
Well, that's every day. Yeah. Right. So if we switch this back to Bitcoin, and I can scroll it back up if I can get up there. Okay, come on. I wish they gave us a scroll bar on this page. It's just inconvenient when they don't do that. Let's just get it up there. Isn't that it right there? Is that the one I was doing? At the top?
But with this, the important thing is that everybody wins with this. Whether you get in and just take a position and be passive and let that double within, in the 90 days, or you choose to refer a few people and you get it a lot sooner.
Oh, for some reason I can't land on that one. It keeps popping out. There's the one I'm showing right now. 1.8288. All right, there it is, right there in our account. I'm just trying to show you that you are in control of your money. Okay? Another question I get, can I lose any money here? Yeah, you can. But I did a real analysis of that, and it's very little and a very low probability. What I mean is, once you've doubled, you've already gotten your money back, right? Well, if you're doing it every day, what's the risk? What's the possibility that the company's going to close on that particular day? It's pretty nil. If you get in and you start growing like we are, we've already made money. What if the company closed down and I had a contract that I just started with $800 in it and they closed it up? Okay. That's just a reduction in yield over everything else that I've already gotten. Have you lost money? No, you haven't really. But that's as much. They only keep the money in the account that you put in there for trading. So you shouldn't put any more than you can think you can lose to get started. And then after you've doubled that, just come on back. But it's just really been going great since December 1. Everybody's getting paid. Everybody's making money. And everybody's beginning to refer. And I think the coolest thing is that people say, well, I just want to put some money in there, but I'm not going to refer anybody. And next thing you know, they're automatically telling their friends and family, and how do I get into that thing? That's just the way it works. It's a good deal.
Yeah, and this is just exploding. Everybody's seeing results, and everybody's happy and excited, and we should hear from some of those people.
I hope so. Anyway, let's open it up for questions, comments, and people that if you're already in it and you're doing it, tell these people who are new here what your experience has been.
Yes, please share the love. Who do we have in here tonight? Somebody speak up. James Norris. Let's pick on you.
Yo.
Are you, what have you been doing with this program? When did you get in, and what do you think?
I love it. I didn't in the very beginning. I thought it was a HYIP, and I frowned on it because, you know, I just didn't want to join it. But after I watched it about a week and saw what y'all were doing, I climbed in, and I'm glad I did because I joined on the 17th of February, and we're looking at about a month. And I have 2 positions maxed out at 7. I have 1 at 6, and I have 2 more positions just getting cranked up in a different line, and we're going to build that as well. But I mean, you know, I'm happy with this thing. It's paying. I can't remember when the last day I had it was less than $2,200 per day, and that's happening every day, every single day.
Yeah,
I
it is
am
amazing.
just so thrilled to watch your teams grow. I mean, they're just exploding. You are on fire. I see you having a few $5,000 days there.
Yeah, I had one day almost $5,200 about a week and a half ago.
That was pretty exciting, huh?
Yeah, really. I'd advise anybody, you know, if you're not afraid of it, if you want to do it, get in. I mean, now's the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, we all need Bitcoin. That's for sure.
No doubt about it.
So, all right. Who else we got? Where's Luke? I know he's got a story.
We got George got his hand up.
Oh, okay. George, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to find out, is it really true that you can get a Bitcoin card and you can take it to a ATM machine and you can cash out your Bitcoin?
Well, it's not a Bitcoin card. It's a Visa card.
Oh, Visa card.
Yeah. If you just Google Bitcoin debit cards, a bunch of them will come up.
Okay.
I think they have them in MasterCard too, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, so it's a Bitcoin debit card.
Okay.
Just Google Bitcoin debit cards. You'll find a bunch of them. I know a lot of people like BitPay. BitPay, yeah. And depending on what country you're from, I think Zappo has a card too in Europe. I'm not quite sure, but just Google it. There's a bunch of them out there.
All right. Thank you very much.
Listen, there's a whole economy being built around Bitcoin. It's not real visible yet, but it's there, and it's going to be there. And Bitcoin is never going away. Just don't worry about that. You're not going to have a problem with it. Problem is, it's going to get so expensive and so high that you're not going to be able to get it. You're going to have to form partnerships just to get a piece of one coin. Start listening to Andreas. Listen, Google Andreas and Bitcoin. Start listening to his videos and his speeches and the stuff he's putting out there. You've got to get a handle on this. You've got to understand what's coming. It is truly going to change the way things work in the country.
And they can find that in tonight's recording on our Facebook group. We archive all our webinars, and our Facebook group is it right behind you there?
It's on the screen. Gladiacoin Elite Global Leaders.
Well, you know, I have to keep my other screens up, so I don't always see what you're doing.
And so we've got the bit.ly link there, so it'll take you right to it. bit.ly/Gladiacoin Elite Global Leaders. Just use that link. It'll take you right to the that group. Now, you can put other people that you're referring in there. We have a Skype group too, but the Skype group is only for members. It's not for visitors. Okay? But the Facebook group is for visitors.
Okay, we have Luke in here. Luke, can I get you to say a few words if you wouldn't mind? Hello?
I'm here. Yeah, hang on 1 second. No, I'm here. I'm here, Kathy.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, loud and loud.
Oh, Good. No, it's good. So I'm sorry. I've got a bit of a cold. And so sorry if the audio is kind of bad.
You've
But
been very
yeah,
under
no, it's,
already. East Coast.
yeah, and you know, it's been pretty amazing for me. You know, it was interesting because I was just talking to one of the local merchants, getting you know, some adult beverages, and I was telling him about, you know, the fascinating parts. Now, as far as merchants go, you know, it's interesting because I don't know if people are paying attention, but there are these things called like Apple Pay and Samsung Pay and Walmart Pay. And why do you think that is? Well, the reason is because they're wise to Visa and MasterCard and all the processing fees. Well, you know, I actually cycled my one position to actually two of my positions cycled in the same day today, which was pretty exciting.
Right.
But and I was showing him, hey, you know, to renew my position, it cost me one Bitcoin, or roughly about $1,000. And for me to send $1,000, it cost pennies. I mean, pennies. And I said, you know, if you have to send money across the world somewhere and you try to do it Western Union, you know what kind of costs are involved with that?
Well,
I mean, it's huge. It's ridiculous, and that's why this makes sense. And just from that aspect, he was looking at it as far as, you know, how could he start taking payments in Bitcoin? And in the U.S., we are way behind. So, I mean, this is like if somebody told you about Google back in 2004 or 3 and said, hey, you want to invest in this weird thing called Google? You know, people would be sitting on the beach sipping margaritas day in and day out if they had stock in Google back in then. And this is what this is, guys. It really is. So, yeah, so I was looking at my ledger. Not quite as good as William, but I'm on William's team, so hopefully I'm, you know, helping with that ledger. And yeah, since March 1st, so whatever that is, 20 days or 19 days, you know, I've earned like 4.57 Bitcoin, and starting with 0.1. I mean, and you know, my team's growing, and everybody's benefiting from it, and you know, people are getting wins out there where they've never made money online. So I mean, yeah, I say to get in here, get your 3 positions, and just get promoting, get people to this webinar.
You are just on fire, doing so well, and I love following you every day because it just keeps getting better and better for you and everybody else, really. You get in, it's a no-brainer. You're going to make money or Bitcoin one way or the other.
Yeah, well, Luke,
Very
you've had
cool.
a long string, just like a lot of us have, where many things didn't work. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that just, yeah, so many things. And you know, the funny thing is, I get hit up on Facebook a lot from people trying to promote different things and these launches and all these things. Oh, we're going to do so well with this pre-launch and all this nonsense. And you know, they never seem to work. They just don't. And I'm like, why would you promote something that might work when there's something that's working right now and working fabulously? And all you have to do is just promote that. I mean,
and one of the other things that I hear a lot from people is well, if you're going to go into one of these programs, well, it's too late to get in. I can't get in. It won't work for me because everybody's already got all the good stuff. No. The more people that get in here, the better this gets. Don't hesitate.
And the fact of this is they don't have any hidden charges. There's no other cost, only your package to come in with and whatever your wallet or blockchain fee charges you, which the highest I've ever seen was like $1.86 a few days ago. Usually it's like pennies, like you said, to do those transactions. So you could easily move, you know, $1 or $1 billion in just an instant for very, very little. It's just the wave of the future. We're really in the right place at the right time with this.
You know, it looks like no, we're okay. We haven't gone an hour yet, but we're getting close to it. So we better wrap this up. We don't seem to have a lot of people that have questions. I don't know, what is it? You guys just like I put you to sleep, you know, when you come on here? What?
We have Miss Rachel in the house. Can we let's bug her for a second. I like to bug her too. Miss Rachel, can you talk to us for a second?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Yeah, yes, we can.
Oh, I'm doing good. I upgraded again today, to 5, Spartacus 5. So,
Good, good.
yeah, I'm not, the funny thing is, a lot of people are getting in and they're working and they're bringing a ton of people in, and making a ton of money, but it's amazing how you can make something and not really, I mean, I'm just kind of working this on the side. My husband and I run a business during the day, so I haven't put the time and the effort into it that I want to yet, and I'm still making money, and that's what's exciting about it. So the people that are just getting started that don't have a lot of people, or don't maybe, are slow going or whatever, it doesn't really matter, because all it takes is a few people, and once it starts spreading, you're going to make money.
Yeah.
So,
No doubt about it.
yeah, I'm very happy. I had a $230 day on Saturday, and I think a $230 day on Friday. So, I mean, you really can't complain. I've only been in for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And like I said, just working it on the side. I'm very
Well,
happy.
it's nice that they spread the love, you know. They say, hey,
Oh,
thanks,
yeah.
here's a little referral fee for the money that you brought to the platform.
Right,
Because these
right.
guys
Yeah,
can just make more money, the more money they have to work with. That's all.
right. Yeah. So I can't imagine what it'd be like if I was actually, like going out there like some of these other people. Obviously look at the fruits of their labor. They're pulling in a whole lot more, but yeah, just get in, do what you can, and you're going to make money in a few weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not the latest, greatest, brand new discovery out of the depths of the wilds of the jungle of South America that's going to make you smarter than anybody else, and you be in perfect weight and have a complete facelift done at the same time.
I don't have a garage full of products, in other words. Yeah, you don't have to jump through hoops. You simply get back to the person that referred you to this, get their link, get your Bitcoin, get your blockchain set up, and get going. 3 steps.
I do have one more thing. I do have the lady that I brought in. She's probably my biggest mover, and she's possibly going to be bringing in a couple from Romania that wants to come in with 12 Bitcoin. So I'm happy.
Congratulations! All right.
So I hope that works out. But she said they're very excited about it. So we'll see what happens.
That's perfect, because she can have 3 positions fully funded going forth.
Yep.
Double that Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Good.
We have a lot of people coming in, investor types that chunk down 4 Bitcoin on 5 or 6 positions, and just to have it double. And this is a fabulous way to do it. I mean, it's just so simple. A baby can do it. Anybody from 5 to 105, really. So, well, I'm so happy for you, Rachel. You're just one of my favorite stories too.
I'm happy for me too.
I like watching you grow.
I'm happy for you guys. You guys are killing it, man. That's going to be me one day.
Once you get up to that Spartacus 7, that 15%, that really, really is the magic ticket. It really makes a whole lot of difference in faster returns and stuff.
Yeah, that's what Jim and I was talking about that yesterday. He said when you get to that Spartacus 7, he said you get that 15%. He said it's going to make a big difference. And
it really does.
Yeah.
And like John was saying earlier, he didn't say this tonight, but I was very skeptical. I didn't want to do another program just because of all the failed stuff out there, that we've tried. And so we started with 0.05 and just walked our way up. And like he said, it took us 19 days to get to Spartacus 7. So everybody's attracted to this program, which is very cool. And everybody's being very successful too.
Mm-hmm.
And the program has proved itself to me. It does exactly what it says it does. So I'm happy, very happy there. Excuse me. Okay, so we're going to do a little training session after this. So you can go and get with your guests and get them set up, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Is that right, John?
Yeah, probably around 15 minutes. Well, it's 23 minutes after. I'd like to start at the bottom, but maybe we should start it at maybe 7:40, something like that.
Okay, whatever you want. So go take care of your...
Actually, I don't have to do that much. We can do it at the bottom of the hour. Yeah, really, we want to just have people ask questions about what they're doing, what they're finding, how things work. What are you running into? What do you have a problem with? There's not a lot here to go wrong, but there is some confusion in some places. And that's what we want to talk about.
Yeah, very, very simple, but it's got a little learning curve until you see it. we're going to talk about Coinbase tonight. Everybody this week has had problem with Coinbase getting Bitcoin, so don't go there, people. Anyway, all right. Well, we do this Monday through Friday. We are here noon and 6 p.m. Pacific time. So if you have any questions, bring them back tomorrow. We'll get them answered. Again, get back with the person that referred you here tonight, and we'll see you all tomorrow. And those members that want to come back and ask some questions, we'll see you at the bottom of the hour.
George has his hand up again.
Okay, where's George?
Yeah, I just have a question. What else can we use besides Coinbase?
Well, we'll discuss all those on the training. There's hundreds of sites out there where you can buy some Bitcoin from. So that'll be a training question. We'll answer all those in a minute.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, see you all later. Bye.
All right, hope you had a great weekend and an even better week ahead. Take care, you guys. Thanks for coming. Good night.